So it's really unfortunate for us bun owners because that means that our rabbits really don't like to show any sign of pain or discomfort until it's actually an emergency. Hello buns, welcome back to Cinnabun Sundays, a weekly video series where we talk about all things bunny. Today I'm going to share with you some signs that your bunny might need to go to the vet. Now when I'm talking about a vet today, I am talking about a rabbit savvy vet. Rabbits are a very specific type of animal that not all vets know how to treat, so one of the first things you should do when you get a rabbit is find a rabbit savvy vet. I'm going to link something in the bio that helps with finding rabbit savvy vets, at least in the US. I found this really useful when I moved to Charlotte, and hopefully you can find it useful too. Rabbits are prey animals, and a big part of being a prey animal means that they feel very vulnerable to any danger around them. So in the wild, they're really used to concealing any pain, any illness, or anything, because if they show any sign of weakness, they're gonna be the first ones taken out. So it's really unfortunate for us bun owners because that means that our rabbits really don't like to show any sign of pain or discomfort until it's actually an emergency. So it's really important that as a rabbit owner, you are very attuned to your rabbit and their behavior, so the second something is off, you can act quickly and take them to the vet to avoid a big emergency. These little guys can go from 100 to 0 so quickly, so today I'm gonna help you identify things to look for that can show that something isn't quite right. So these are daily checks that I do every single day with Cinnabun. It doesn't have to be a big involved things, it's just things that I keep in my brain when I see her, when I'm around her, and things that I notice. The very first thing that I notice with Cinnabun is her disposition in the morning. Now disposition is the one that is gonna be the most dependent on you to understand your rabbit and their behaviors, because some rabbits are a lot more high energy than others, but for the most part, usually rabbits are most active in the morning and evening. So when you wake up, it's really likely that your rabbit will be running around and playing, excited to be out, excited to see you. So if you come in the morning and your rabbit is kind of huddled off in a corner, showing zero interest in you, that can really be a sign that they are not feeling great. Of course, rabbits can go through mood swings like crazy and just sometimes not want to hang out, but if you can tell a very definite shift in the way your rabbit normally acts, that's usually a sign that something isn't quite right. Another part of disposition is just the way that they're handling themselves. For instance, if your bunny is hunched up in a little ball, grinding their teeth together, just looking uncomfortable, if you try to push them and they won't move, that's another sign that they are not feeling well. Or if you notice that they are trying to sleep but can't get comfortable, flopping all over the place, but not the happy flop, the kind where it's like they just can't find any comfort anywhere, that usually means that they're uncomfortable. So being aware of things that are outside of your rabbit's normal disposition and normal sleeping or playing behaviors. But because this is a harder one to pinpoint, that behavior coupled with some of these other things I'm gonna share is a big sign that it's time to go to a vet. So the next thing I look for is appetite. I know for a fact that if Cinnabun does not eat her morning salad, things are not well. Rabbits are very food motivated. So if you notice a shift in your rabbit's appetite, that is almost always a sign of a deeper problem. Now, yes, rabbits can be picky, but I'm talking about the things that they are excited to eat every day, suddenly showing little interest. So if you put their salad right in front of their face, they sniff it and hop away, that's not a good sign. And if I notice that Cinnabun isn't showing interest in her salad, take out her absolute favorite treat, the thing that she will never say no to, and I show it to her. If she doesn't take the treat, we're going to the vet. We are in the carrier, we're in the car, we are going. A loss of appetite can mean so many things, but really with rabbits, it's never good. It can be a sign of stasis, dental problems, just a lot of different things, but if their appetite goes, it's vet time. Now, appetite and disposition are two of the biggest things you can look for right away that can signal that something is wrong, but there are some physical signs in your bunny that you can also look at that can signal all sorts of things. Let's start with their eyes and nose. Rabbits are not very damp creatures. Their eyes don't really secrete much liquid and their noses don't really run. Now, every once in a while, I'll have to pick a little booger out of Cinnabun's eye. Every once in a while, she gets excited and is having fun. Right underneath her nose will get a little damp just from that excitement. But if you ever see like mucus, thick tear things coming out of the eyes or nose, that is not normal. Any like actual liquid that is secreting from their eyes that's kind of gooey and gross, almost creamy, that is not normal, and that can be a sign of snuffles or maybe even dental problems. Moving on to their teeth, a big thing that makes bunnies bunnies are their big honkin' teeth. Rabbits chew so much because their teeth never stop growing. So it's really important that you always provide them with unlimited hay and a lot of chew toys so they can grind their teeth down without them getting overgrown or uncomfortable. But even if you provide your rabbit with all of those things, there's still a chance of dental issues that can come up with rabbits, especially rabbits like Cinnabun with lop ears. They're just more prone to dental disease. That could be the back of their mouth, the front of their teeth, really anywhere in their mouth. If it starts to get uncomfortable, that can lead to a lot of other issues down the road, even stasis. So ways to know that your rabbit's mouth is bothering them is if there's a sudden change in appetite, but maybe instead of refusing to eat altogether, they only will eat soft foods but don't eat hard foods. You also might notice that they're dropping food out of their mouth because they can't really chew it, or like what I mentioned before with appetite, they stop eating together. Really, any appetite change is a big reason to go to the vet, but there are specific types that you can look for that are really pointing towards dental disease. Next up are the ears, which is like the iconic bunny body part, right? Their beautiful giant ears are just so precious, but because they're so big, they can have a lot of problems with them. One thing that can happen with rabbits is they can get ear infections, and a lot of times what you can look for if you're looking at their ears is if they have a head tilt. Like if your rabbit is just sitting completely straight, but their head is tilted off to the side, a lot of times they'll be messing with their ears a lot, very outside of their regular grooming patterns, and there might even be things that you can see in their ear if the infection is bad enough. If you look in your rabbit's ear right now, it's probably nice and clean, you can't really see anything, but if it's irritated, it could get red, there's buildup, and they'll be messing with their ear a ton, can't stay up straight, and it's really, really uncomfortable for them. Some rabbits might need some cleanings every once in a while from the vet, but for the most part, if you keep an eye on it, let them clean their ears themselves, they should be fine, but just know what to look for. Now let's talk about their coat. Rabbits groom themselves constantly. You'll actually probably be surprised at how often you find your bunny just grooming themselves. They love to do it. It's a calming mechanism for them, and it's really important to them that they always look their best. But if you start to notice your rabbit grooming themselves too much, that can be a sign of something else. Sometimes they groom a lot if they have digestive issues, and other times they groom a lot because their skin is uncomfortable. Maybe they have mites, maybe there's an infection, some kind of bug bite. It's just really important to know normal grooming behavior versus abnormal grooming behavior. Abnormal grooming behavior is when instead of that like calm, chill, like grooming that they normally do, it's more sporadic. They're doing it constantly and they look like they can't really sit still without scratching and attacking their body. You might also notice a lot of like bald patches throughout their fur, so not their normal shedding pattern, but like actual bald spots from where they've been like pulling and grooming. Their skin could be red and irritated. You might even see white flecks of skin, which could be mites. So there's a lot of things that you can look for in their skin, but if you ever notice your rabbit moving into abnormal grooming patterns, that's a good time to look at their skin and fur and see, all right, is this normal? What's going on here? Now let's talk about their feet. On their feet, they have their little toenails. You always want to make sure to trim your rabbit's toenails down about every 6 weeks, because if their nails get too long, they could get stuck on things. It's happened to me, it's terrible. And you wanna make sure when you see your bunny in the morning that all of their toes are good, no broken nails, we haven't gotten stuck anywhere, no limping, everything is fine. Another thing to look out for on their feet is on their back feet, and it's on their hocks, which is like the heel of their back feet. It's called sore hocks. Notice if your rabbit is limping, not wanting to like push on their feet, not wanting to hop, that can come from hopping on surfaces that aren't very good for bunnies, and it can rub on the back of their heels. There's a treatment that your vet can do, but that's something to look for as well. Now we have traveled all the way down the bunny. The very last thing to talk about is their poop. Every single morning, you should be looking at your rabbit's litter box and making sure that their poop looks normal. I have an entire video dedicated to normal rabbit poop, so if you want a full in-depth analysis, you can click on this link here and go into all the dirty details there. But for the most part, you are looking for, first of all, poop in their litter box, because if there's no poop there, that's a bigger problem. But you're looking for regular sized poop, so about the size of a little bigger than a pea, and all of the poops looking the same. Irregular, different sized poops is usually a sign of some kind of gut problem, and those are signs that you should at least give your vet a call. All right, Buns, so those are my daily rabbit health checks. Of course, there are so many things you can always be doing to keep an eye on your bunny, but those are the things I really make sure to take note of every single day to make sure that Cinnabun is happy and healthy. It's so important to pay close attention to your bunny, so I hope this was useful, and we will see you in our next video. Bye, Buns.